I don't know if anyone else has thought of this before, but oh boy. Happy Tuesday, Potterheads. Today we're talking about Chapter 12 of Chamber of Secrets, and I have had a revelation. But first, let's go to the recap. Harry is in Dumbledore's office and he talks to the Sorting Hat. Then Dumbledore's bird explodes and Harry panics. Dumbledore tells Harry the bird is a phoenix named Fox, and that Fox will be reborn from the ashes. Then Hagrid bursts in to defend Harry, but Dumbledore says he doesn't suspect Harry. Then Dumbledore asks Harry if he has anything to tell him, and Harry says no. The kids stay over at Christmas break to do their plan. On Christmas Day, they open their presents, go to the feast, and then put their plan in action. They finish the potion by tricking Crabbe and Goyle into eating chocolate cakes filled with sleeping draught, and they get some of their hairs. They all drink the potion in Myrtle's bathroom and transform. Then Hermione tells the boys to go ahead without her. The boys try to find the Slytherin common room and stumble upon Percy. Percy reprimands them, then Malfoy interrupts. They go into the Slytherin common room and find out Ron's dad is in trouble for the car. They try to get Malfoy to tell them about the heir of Slytherin, but he says he doesn't know anything. Malfoy does admit, though, that his dad has hidden illegal dark artifacts. They start to transform back, so they run away quickly. They get back to the bathroom and Hermione reveals she accidentally used a cat hair and is covered in fur and has a tail and ears. Thanks, recap. If this is your first book club video, welcome. Please remember that you can subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single episode. And if you want to catch up and start all the way from the beginning, you can click that card in the top left right there. Harry is the Phoenix! Oh my god, you guys, I'm just so excited I couldn't keep it in! Okay, bear with me, please, because again, it's another week where I'm talking mostly about stuff that isn't even in the chapter. And this time, like, a lot of it isn't even in the book. But this is a deep dive, right? This isn't for your first-time reader. But hello, welcome. If you're a first-time reader, please don't be scared. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Kevin, no, Harry is the stag, Dumbledore is the Phoenix. But just wait! I got started thinking down this trailer because of the scene in Dumbledore's office in this chapter. There's a lot of focus put on Fox, and that makes sense because Fox is going to become very important later in the book. But when Fox bursts into flames on these pages and then comes back to life, it struck me differently than it had before, that dying and coming back to life is something that Harry literally does in this series. So to make my case, let's start off first with what we know about phoenixes and how they relate to Harry. The biggest thing, like I just said now, is that phoenixes, as they approach very old age, will burst into flames and then will be reborn from the ashes. I mean, that's Harry in a nutshell. He does it kind of twice in this book. Once metaphorically and then once later literally. The literal one, obviously, and major spoiler ahead here, is that Harry dies in the forest and then comes back to life at the end of the 7th book. Oh, what's that? I could just stop right there? That's enough evidence for you? Oh, just you wait. Harry also kind of rises from the ashes the very first time he faces Voldemort as a baby. The legend, more so than the actual boy himself, is kind of born out of the ashes of his childhood home and his parents' lives. And this actually lines up better with mythology even. In Greek mythology, they would often refer to this reborn phoenix as being a brand new bird born from the father's ashes. Second, and this is really superficial, but like phoenixes are red and gold, and Gryffindor's colors are red and gold, and Harry's kind of the quintessential Gryffindor, so... Best evidence ever! Last thing about actual phoenixes. Kevin, you idiot. Phoenixes aren't real. Last thing about phoenixes in real mythology is that they're often depicted as being endowed with a nimbus. Wait, what? Like they're riding a broom? Can't they fly on their own? No, in this context, a nimbus is a luminous cloud or a halo surrounding a supernatural being. You know, art. But yes, it's the name of his broom and Also, in these depictions, the nimbus would often have 7 rays emitting from them. You know, 7, like number of books, 7 years at Hogwarts, 7 Horcruxes, 7 Weasley children. The number shows up a lot in Harry's life. And then just like last thing relating to birds and brooms is that Harry goes from riding a nimbus to riding a firebolt. Get it? Firebolt? Because the bird is on fire? Never mind. Okay, so by now you might be thinking like me, but Kevin, Harry's Patronus is a stag, not a phoenix. Dumbledore's Patronus is a phoenix. And to that, I answer with ha! So let's look first at the incantation. Expecto Patronum! Never works. Those words in Latin translate to I await a guardian. It's a spell to call forth a protector, so along this line of thinking, your Patronus wouldn't necessarily be whatever animal you metaphorically are. Harry's Patronus is a stag. He craves protection from his father. When Harry casts a corporeal Patronus for the first time, Harry from 3 hours before even thinks that his dad came back to life somehow. Wait, Harry even believes in resurrection? Do I even need to keep talking? Pottermore does have some literature on what a Patronus represents, and it does say that a Patronus can reveal some deep, hidden, inaccessible part of your personality. But this is not always the case. Now, Dumbledore's Patronus gets interesting. His Patronus is a phoenix. The man is clearly a big fan of phoenixes. Phoenixes? Phenoses? I don't know. Now, Catalyst Spangle, the great 18th century researcher of charms, set forth some foundational principles for understanding Patronuses. One of which he laid out was that it was extremely uncommon to see someone cast a Patronus that takes the form of their favorite animal, and that often this revealed some sort of obsession. He said, "It is my firm belief that such a Patronus is an indicator of obsession or eccentricity. Here is a wizard who may not be able to hide their essential self in common life, who may indeed parade tendencies that others might prefer to conceal. Whatever the form of their Patronus, you would be well advised to show respect and occasionally caution towards a witch or wizard who produces the Patronus of their choice." I mean, sounds like Dumbledore to me. But let's think about this obsession. Why is Dumbledore obsessed with phoenixes in the first place? And that, to me, is kind of course, his quest for the Deathly Hallows as a young man. The phoenix symbolizes immortality, resurrection, life after death, all the things about the Hallows that attracted him most when he was young. But how does this relate to our theory? Well, what's the other thing that Dumbledore tends to be a little bit obsessed about? Harry Potter. You know, if Voldemort could produce a Patronus, and J.K. Rowling confirmed that he can't, I bet his might be a phoenix too. I mean, he's obsessed with immortality and Harry too, right? Dumbledore becomes consumed and eventually overtaken by his obsession with Harry and how his life and his death has to happen in order to bring down Voldemort. Oh man, just all the spoilers in this episode. Woo! And that's evidenced by his Patronus. Harry Potter, I mean a phoenix. And the last thing I'll bring up is the name of the secret organization that Dumbledore forms in order to bring down Voldemort. The Order of the Phoenix. Now, if you're like me, I always thought this was just another instance where Dumbledore was like, this is my club, it's all about me, I'm the Phoenix. But nope, not anymore. You could probably guess by now what I'm gonna say. Harry is the Phoenix! Yes! The Order of the Phoenix is named after Harry. Now, I don't mean this literally. I'm not saying that Dumbledore named it after Harry. Obviously, the Order existed before Harry was alive. I mean, maybe. I don't know, actually. I've never researched it. But I am saying that J.K. Rowling named it after Harry. Because what is this organization really about? In both the First and Second Wizarding War, its ultimate goal is the protection of Harry. To protect the one who would arise from the ashes of the First Wizarding War, to be reborn into a world he never knew, to eventually die again and be reborn even stronger. To protect the Phoenix. And that is all for today's topic. I really loved this one. I hope you guys did too. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And now it's time for a new segment I'm calling Letters of Disappointment. Gotta sit over here in my fancy chair so I feel more important. Dear J.K. Rowling, we all know by now that you are not perfect. Representation in your stories struggles a bit. Your new movies have disappointed people by not coming out and blatantly stating Dumbledore's sexuality and officially canonizing it. And we won't even get into the Johnny Depp stuff right now. But today my letter of disappointment is regarding fat shaming. I am surprised and disappointed that Hermione, of all people, would be the first stone thrower in this chapter. Hermione, always outcast for being a know-it-all and a bit intense, champion of the little guy, is the one who comes up with the plan to lure Crabbe and Goyle with desserts. She even goes on to basically say, they eat so much, it's guaranteed to work. And yes, Ron is a bit more ruthless with his word choice for Malfoy's cronies, but let's be honest, doesn't that make more sense for him? Not all bodies are thin, and that's beautiful. Yours in disappointment, Kevin. Okay guys, this week I want to know what all of your Patronuses are. Mine is a crow and I freaking love it. If you know what it is, leave a comment below with what it is. If not, click the link in the description to go to Pottermore and figure out what your Patronus is and then come all the way back and let me know. Leave your Patronuses in the comments below. And that is it for this week's video. If you liked it, toss a thumbs up. If you want to follow along, subscribe and hit the notification bell next to it so you don't miss a single video. Click here to see a video that YouTube thinks you will really like, or click here to see the previous episode. And if you want to see more of my nonsense, click my face below my face to visit my second channel. Your assignment for next week is to read chapter 13. That's the Very Secret Diary, so make sure we all read that by next Tuesday. And until then, happy reading! Knox!